So I think a lot of people, if they are already trading, now again, the majority of the people that we teach aren't already trading. But if you are listening and you are trading already, then the likelihood is your trading plan probably does suck. And there's a few reasons why that might be. You may be lacking data, you may be lacking consistency. In the previous episode, we talked about 3 of the major elements that feed into your mindset. So if your trading plan doesn't include elements that impact your mindset, then it already sucks. If it doesn't take into account all the data that you should be looking at, and we on all of our trades track about 14 or 15 different criteria, then it already sucks. If it isn't flexible and can trade at different levels of strategy across different market conditions, it sucks as well. So there's all these different elements that can feed into your trading plan being absolutely fantastic or actually not being very good and not actually serving you, which is potentially why if you're already trading and you're not getting to where you want to get to, because that element is not where it needs to be.
I was going to ask, what even is a trading plan? Because there must be people out there without a plan.
Yeah.
Who just sit in front of a chart and go, or copy people.
Yeah.
So what is a plan? Why do we have one?
So your trading plan is really important because you need to know what you're doing, when you're doing it, why you're doing it, and how you're doing it. All of these things. So again, when we were featured in Bloomberg, they really highlighted the fact that we're data-driven. So our trading plan is, in one element of it, data-driven. So we're talking here about strategy. So do you even have a strategy in place that you're looking to apply to the market? And if you don't, well, actually, I'm just going to step back for a second and define what a strategy is, because how do you know if you've got one if you don't know what the definition is? So for us, a strategy is a really clear set of criteria. So it might be 5 criteria, it might be 3 criteria, it might be 10. 10 is too many. We like to keep it simple. But let's say it's 5 criteria. That may be the market has to be moving in a certain direction, it has to be moving in a certain way. There might be another form of analysis tool like the MACD or stochastics that you need to be showing you a particular thing. And these 5 criteria all have to be in place before you enter the market, whether that's up or down. So if you don't have that level of strategy in place, which is backed by data that says when these criteria are in place, this is 60 or 70% of the time the result that you will get. So that is part of your trading plan. Really, really clear systems and processes around your strategy. Beyond just that, you need to know within your plan, how are you going to manage yourself, your mindset, and your approach to the market? So we operate what's called swing trading, which is medium-term trading. So we're in trades for a few days to a few weeks. Now that is part of our trading plan. We know that that is our trading plan. So if we're going to swing trade, if listeners are listening to episode 3, they'll hear head mentor Josh talk about the best time of day to trade. So that may be early in the morning, it may be later in the evening. Which is the best time for you? Is that written in your trading plan? One of the things we talked about at a roundtable we recently had, which you attended, is we talked about what is your location for trading? So where is that going to be? So do you have a set spot in the house? Maybe it's the kitchen table. Maybe you've got a nice private office. Maybe it's when you're at work and you can sneak in on your lunch break or whatever it is. What is your plan for where you will trade that will allow you to be the best trader that you can be? So there's all these different elements, which is about predefining the decision before you make the decision. And that is what a trading plan should look like.
I love it. It's amazing. So how do we stick to it?
That's a different question.
About consistency, didn't we?
Yeah. So sticking to it, again, different elements. So sticking to your strategy criteria comes down to consistency, it comes down to confidence. So we want to create that data behind it. So making sure that we're sticking to our criteria. And by the way, if you're testing a strategy or applying a strategy to the market, if you only have 4 of those criteria and you take it anyway because you think, it's only one that's missing, you're actually trading a new strategy. It's not the original strategy. So you have to be really, really strict on that. So part of that is refinement. We can't expect perfection from ourselves. That very, very rarely happens. So we just have to check and make sure that we've done a good job of that. The other way is we have a reason why. Why am I wanting to stick to this plan? Why does this plan allow me to be the best trader? So in the previous episode last week, we talked about how important a why is and why that helps us manage our emotions. So we want to have emotional input to make us take action, to stick to the plan. But when we actually are implementing the plan, we want to be low emotion. So it's a bit of a seesaw, juggling act in one sense of where we want the emotion, because emotion is power, emotion is movement. So we want that emotion to move us to take the right decisions, to take the right action. But then when we're implementing the plan, we want to be emotionless when we're placing our trades.
Yeah. So I'm now live trading.
Congratulations. Yeah.
And I don't think we've like discussed a trading plan on the course, but I can see that I have one.
Yeah.
I can see that I've been taught strategies, I've got times, I've got places, I've got getting better with the mindset. So it's all kind of organically in there, isn't it, in coaching?
Yeah.
But I must say that this one strategy that I'm now live on, very exciting. I was submitting my homework every week, and there was one week where I was like, I've definitely got it. Josh is going to give me the approval. And he was like, yeah, do about maybe 10 to 15 more, give it another week, focus on this, and then come back to me. And I was like, oh, okay. But that week taught me more because I was looking at different markets and just getting more confident with it. And then we did the group coaching, and he was like, yes, you're getting the seal of approval.
Yeah.
And he puts a little GIF, doesn't he, of a little happy seal on the screen. I was like, yes. But then I was suddenly really fearful.
Interesting.
Because it was real money.
Yeah.
And I was like looking at the strategy and looking at the chart and stuff going, and I just couldn't click. I was like, no, not that one. Maybe a different one. And then I'd be like, no. And then interestingly, we had a community session on mindset.
Yeah.
And I spoke to Josh about it afterwards and Brimel, who's part of the community. And they were like, you just need to get over this hump. Like, feel the fear and do it anyway. It's 1%. You can actually do less than 1%.
Yeah.
And the next time I sat at my laptop, I was like, well, less than 1% is not, it's less than a tenner. It's, a few quid. I can do that. That's fine. Go on. And I've had some winning trades.
Amazing.
So I'm delighted.
Yeah.
But the time of day thing was interesting because I was like, okay, I'm going to do a new thing. I'm going to get up early where the kids aren't up and no one's awake, and I'll make a cup of tea. But I'm just not a morning person. Like, I tried it. I am not a morning person. I get up in the morning and I'm like foggy for at least an hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can get people dressed and I can do the kids stuff, but I shouldn't be making decisions.
Making actual decisions, yeah.
So then I was like, okay, I'll try at night. I'll try at 10 o'clock at night because I normally settle down, have dinner, maybe have a gin and tonic, and then 10 o'clock's fine. That's just before bedtime. So I'm now drinking less because you can't trade drunk.
Well, you shouldn't.
Tired or angry, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I don't need a gin anyway. So now I happily 10 o'clock at night. And at first my husband was like, oh, okay. But now he understands, everyone understands. He can see me having some trades that are successful. He's like, yeah, keep going.
Yeah.
And it's not just him in my support network, it's the gang and the community as well.
Yeah.
Because when you have a winner, you can say that. You can be like, look, and then yay.
Yeah.
And we celebrate together and discuss the trades and stuff like that. So it's good.